Yo, and welcome back to the Dandy Drew YouTube channel. My name is not Dandy Drew, I am David George, or Davbath, and I've known Dandy for a while. We've collaborated on a lot of different projects together, and he told me that you guys are looking for some interesting games. You want to see what Dandy's been up to, playing against some of the best players in the world just in his free time. And I wanted to bring you this game where he is competing in Catan Championship Division 1, playing against a world's semi-finalist, a national champion, and a Division 1 champion. This is a really good lobby, really interesting game. I think you're going to love it. Please let us know down in the comments what you thought about this format. Is it weird not having Dandy in the seat, or do you just want more Catan content, more Dandy Drew content? Let us know. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Let's get this game started. So, we're looking at a really low wheat board, and first off, we actually have a placement taking that into account, which is the classic all-wheat sheep 8-10-4 here. There are actually two 8-10-4s. This is a base random board, so you're going to see some different combinations than what you're used to seeing. This 8-10-4 is relatively balanced. It's nothing outrageous. It's not an amazing first pick. It's just decent. There is a lot of sheep around, so this 8 doesn't do a huge amount. I may have even gone for the 8-10-4, the bigger ore here. Just to get a bit more leverage in this game potentially. But regardless, 8-10-4, points left, avoids maybe a plow, I guess, or just the 8-4 placement. Anyway, they made this play, and following that up, we have Dandy Drew going for the most Dandy Drew pick ever, taking the wood double brick, 9-5-10, pointing to the wood port. On this board, honestly, I think the only other pick which is really going to be considered by the majority of players is this 8-10-11. Which does give you some of that rare wheat, the best ore in the game, and some brick with loads of wooden sheep to pick up on the way back. So definitely a very strong pick, but Dandy does like to play in and around the existing meta, as you guys surely know. So 9-5-10, very interesting pick. We'll see how it pans out. Third pick, 8-10-11 does happen, and then fourth we get 6-9-5, and 6-10-3, starting with the rolled, taking a bit of the rare isolated wheat here and building to the sheep port. Great setup actually here from Robin, who is in fact a world semi-finalist. He has some really strong expansions here. This 9-8 is great. The sheep port is really good. Good rolls on the 6. It's a very interesting setup. 11-3-5 now from Penny, who gets the all 5 resource setup and points to 6-11. Very balanced, almost to a fault, right? You know, it's one of those setups that doesn't necessarily have a huge advantage going for them apart from the ore here. So it is going to be about getting production up, building cities, getting devs. Moving on, then Dandy does take probably the most stable of the outs here, and just going back, you know, you could take the wheat straight up, you could take 6-2-10 straight up. 5-8-2, however, was pretty inspired, because you know that red, the all-wheat sheep player, is not going to take the 6-10-2 here, even the 6-5-2. They're either going to go for something like maybe the 6-11 or the 4-12-3. By the way, if red had taken 8-4-10 with the ore here, I think 6-11 to 4-11 is actually quite a good out. But regardless, that's not the case. So Danny takes 5-8-2, points to the 6-2-10, and opening up a pretty massive wood port production road game here, which is quintessential Dandy Drew. No doubt this is going to be the first game that you guys see. It is very on brand. So 4-12-3 happens, and this is now, you know, coordinated 4s, a lot of wheat on this board, a lot of ore on this board. Quite an interesting all-wheat sheep setup, but pretty reliant on the lower numbers here, so we'll see how that ends up going. Now let's get into it. We are going to primarily focus on Dandy Drew's game here. Now, he's already built a road to the 6-10-2, and he is going to be looking for trades to get some wheat into his hand here, and there's already a road settle from Robin on the 9-8, huge production. Now, Dandy actually gets off the first trade here, trading away one of the rare brick for an equally rare for him, wheat, giving Spinning Rat just a brick in hand, so nothing too major, but getting some safe value here, and actually hit some pretty good rolls leading up to his next turn. I think we're going to see that just now. There's going to be 1, and then it's going to hit a big 5, and then the second one Now, in this position, you have a lot of options. Obviously, he has the settle, but he also has the rolled settle. Maybe you can pause this video at this moment and think about what you would do and why. Um, in the meantime, I can tell you that Dandy does in fact take the wood port and settles. This puts even more value onto this 9 brick, which is trading a lot around the table, and he will continue to do that this game. The 12 wheat, which is an underrated roll, and it's never going to get blocked. It will actually come in clutch at some point. And having the extra brick in hand, the extra wood in hand means he's very close to being able to get another settlement down. So I like this play. This is really cool and puts him in a great spot to get even more wood port potential and a little bit more wheat. So now we've seen quite a lot of 7s back to back, a lot of steals going on. Rat is also going to play out a knight and rolls another 7 as the 4th steal and 3 rolls. And then Dandy, to top it off, rolls another 7 and manages to actually pluck an ore from Penny's hand. That's really valuable for a completely oreless player. You know, the wood you're going to be wanting to use, well, for everything. So saving 2 wood just to get this ore here, very, very nice. Now, another steal here from Penny actually does hit the knight. And we see a trade here where Dandy gets a sheep into his hand after this 8 is blocked, trades with Robin, gives him a brick, and again, not giving away the settle, but putting both of the players closer towards what they want. So definitely getting a lot out of this for Dandy here, because Robin is not able to settle in his turn. That sheep port is really, really strong. So we move forward, and by Dandy's turn, I think we are going to see the money 12. There it is. Yeah, and the perfect 12, just we called it before, does roll, settles 6, 10, 2. And now Dandy has an extremely powerful setup. He is effectively producing ore on the 5 and on the 2. And he has double wheat, he has double brick. He has the best sheep hex in the game. Quite interesting here. Very flexible, but at the same time, when does the city come in? He's got the ore, but I can tell you that not long until he loses this. In fact, Robin rolls a 7 and does pluck the ore, which is brutal for Dandy, and gets a settle on the sheep port. So the game is going to keep moving. This is not a table to take lightly, so they will certainly do their best to play for their own game. And here we have Robin with a very strong sheep port, gets onto 4 points, creates this money roll on the 3 as well. Really nice position. And here we're going to see a really clean roll for Dandy, the perfect roll. The 2 is actually his best possible roll on this spot. Gets up to the 3-5-2 and it starts to open up a little bit of an end game vision. Now, just on his next turn, I believe Dandy actually does settle on this 3-5-2 and he gets another trade with Spinning Rat. Here we go. Boom. Now 3-5-2, Dandy's on 5 points. No cities, but the 5 is tripled, the 2 is tripled. He just needs 1 city and the whole game will open up again. So much space to play for road. But when's that city going to come through? No clue, right? It's really unclear at this point because he is going to get robbed a lot. The rest of the table is nowhere near where he is at, really, apart from Robin. And Robin is also buying development cards here. So it's a very much a position where Dandy is so far ahead that if everyone else is buying development cards and everyone else is kind of built for development cards, they can really hurt him and slow him down from ever getting a city. So very interesting position to be in. Now, the game does keep going as you see Dandy gets robbed and he misses the sheep, so that's a massive loss there. Big 5's rolling though, and I think now we are about to see a bit of a terrifying city from Robin. I think this might even be the Year of Plenty, yeah. And cities, the 6-9-5. Things are getting very, very spooky now. Dandy's getting robbed and blocked, but Robin is cooking with the sheep port. Now, Dandy is getting warmed up. He's got 4 roads in hand, but not much to do with them. On his turn, he is going to go for the slightly aggressive plow. He's got the roads to do it, open up some space, get onto a 3-1 port whenever that city does happen. This is a great play, of course, and puts him in a really, really strong position to basically always have roads. There's no one who can really play for it anymore. Robin maybe could have if Dandy hadn't opened up all the space. But at this point now it's a bit too much of a road lead. So moving forward now, we start to see Dandy hit the rolls of his life. This is an amazing orbit. He was very, very happy about this, I'm sure. He's going to hit another 5 and gets the clean city, and boom, just like that, from 0 to hero in one orbit, he generates an entire city from 5s. 9, 5, 10 city happens, and now the table is in a lot of trouble. It's basically either Dandy or Robin who's going to win here, and Robin needs to be able to steal and keep road, and also then get the extra points to win, which is quite a big ask. And we actually see Penny here taking Army with a victory point and getting a road settle. So she's on 7 points. Not a terrible position either. It's obviously lack of cities and explosive dev cards means you're a little limited, but 7 points is 7 points. Now Dandy on 0 cards starts to get a bit of a warm-up in this orbit as well. Here we go. There's a lot of cards coming in. Robin buying a development card. And by his next turn here, Dandy is actually going to get the settle down on the 3-1 port. That's 9 points. Now, we see that Dandy has got 9 points, but the road is somewhat unstable. Definitely Robin has the potential to take it if Dandy is not hitting the rolls, or if he's going to keep getting robbed. But I think we are about to see one of the best rolls in this whole game by Dandy's next turn. So Robin is now on 6 points. Spinning Rat is not playing for Army right now. It's a little bit far off. Another roll from Dandy and kind of securing that. And it's just coming up here. The beautiful 2 roll back to back, and 2 2s in a row is effectively what wins Dandy the game. Just kidding. He gets monoed. He gets monoed. He loses all of it. And Spinning Rat gets down all the way to the 8-4. Just 5 points though, nothing too crazy, but losing out all of that wood, that could have been the game for Dandy. Now, let's watch this final orbit. You can see it's happening. Now, it may not be a huge surprise unless Spinning Rat pulls out the craziest mono of all time, but there is no road given to Robin. Spinning Rat cities, and boom, Dandy Drew pulls the development card, gets the victory point, and wins the game. And that about wraps it. This game actually was almost close. It was never really close at any point, I think, just from how it went in the end, especially those 2s. The table was actually lucky to be able to survive that. But, you know, Robin does have a monopoly here, and that's something that didn't get played. But this monopoly could have definitely allowed Robin to take road, at least in the short term, and potentially get an extra point down. Could have been 9 points. Close one, for sure. And Dandy just pulling through with a timely victory point, clutching the win. And that's the game. So that's a Division 1 win for Dandy Drew. Really good game. I loved watching this one back, and I hope you did too. So if this was a format that you enjoyed, please do let us know. Make sure to check out Two Sheep if you like having replays of games, or yeah, you can check out the other games that Dandy has played. Check through those replays yourself. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and may the dice be with you. Peace.